is your human resource analytics. Analytics for human resource planning decisions. So both the units are very advanced unit, I can say it, for the considering the present scenario. Both the units are very important. Let's see what are the contents of the units. So formulating HR plan. In these units, we have to see the introductions, then human resource planning, what is the meaning of these things and why it is needed. Then HR grant strategy, portfolio analysis, HR forecasting approaches, and predictor selections. So this is the content of the particular unit. Now let's see the human resource planning. As in the earlier session, we have seen the lot of methods, job description, job analysis, that part already we have discussed. Now, here actually we are talking about the process and how to predict the things. So HRP is a systematic process for predicting the future demand for the for and supply of the manpower. Or suppose you have to require some of the recruitment, what is your manpower is required, that things, that demand you have to calculate it. And the employment of skills are the organization objectives. Suppose organizations have some objectives of theirs, this type of people are required, this type of skill is required, this type of qualification is required. So everything are to collect and for forecasting purposes. First things, you have to predict the things. So this total, all this process, we can say this is a human resource planning. Formulations of the HR process. Now you have to formulate different process. The planning of the human resource may fall into the trap of two extremes. You have to consider it in the two way. I mean, the viewpoint should be in two. There is one of the falling into the short-terming of the short-term decision making. They have some to what are the gaps are there for a short-term purposes that you have to plan a short-term basis, and you have to take a decision for that. And another one is your extreme ambitions of looking from long-term perspectives, that type of decisions. Maybe 2 years project, 3 years project, and if a new product to be launched. So for that, you have to R&D, then product identifications, market study, everything. So their planning will be different. So that is a long-term perspectives. First 15 months survey and all. Now short term is basically the immediate remedies. Means about some product line is declining, and particularly this product, what type of modification is required, what type of challenges, issues are coming. So that type of planning is basically your short-term basis. Then you have to take a decisions. Both the cases you have to take decisions. One of the short-term basis, another one is a long-term basis. So considering two extreme things, you have to formulate the process. Now for that, some of the model are there. There's a basic model of the process of HR formulations. Triangulation of the work-related information, prior knowledge of the workforce, and cooperation of HR department. So that is first things we can say these are inputs. Then selection of the HR strategy. Then after that, when you are getting all these things, work-related information you have, prior knowledge also you have of workforce, what type of knowledge is required, that also you are already prepared, and cooperation of the HR department, who will take the responsibility. Everything are now already in the initial stages. Then selection for the HR strategy. You have to prepare some of the, select some of the strategy. Maybe there are 2-3 strategies are there. Or rather I can say the alternatives you have. Now you have to best fit alternative you have to take it for the HR strategy. Then after that, profiling of the strengths and flaws of every possible strategic decisions. Because you see, when you are taking some of the decisions or maybe the alternatives, or then maybe that alternatives, that decisions, there are some of the strength point will be there, possible, and some of the things your flaws are there. So merits, demerits, advantage, disadvantage, that things you have to analyze and have to prepare those things, and then you have to go ahead. So then that is another stages. After that, finalizing the best possible HR strategies. Now, suppose for example, there are 4 alternatives. You are after the getting of the HR strategy, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yeah, based on this, your information and qualification also. You have categorized. There are 4 alternatives are there. Which one of the now we have to say which one is the best, considering strength, flaws, or merit, demerit. Then you have to finalize. So that is the process of your third step. That process is there. You have to decide. Then you are finalizing. Okay. Then finalizing the best possible HR strategy that has the highest future potentials. Then finalizing the best possible. After that, you have to take which one are the best, that HR strategies that has the highest future potential. Means in future that strategy will be best. Means in the sense active, or maybe the considering all the points. I mean, this is the highest level of things. So this is the way some of the model are there. There are so many other models also there. Nowadays, in the lot of software is also available. You just there have to give some basic inputs, and software will run and give you inputs. Again, software is different purposes, different application purposes that you have to see in the market, which is really required as per your organization point of view. Now coming to there some of the conditions. Means again, during these things, there are some of the conditions, the norms, and there are four quadrants. We can say the quadrant cell number A, then cell number B, then number C and D. There are different quadrants are there. Cell number A, where the first quadrant we can say, that is what is. I mean that you have to keep in mind what is. Their workforce, HR department. Means work. It should come in the mind, initial stages, what type of works? What is this? Workforce. Really you have the workforce or not? How many workforce are required? Then what is the function should be the HR department? The initial stage is what is? When that type of questions you have to generate, you have to simulate this type of things in fast. Then second quadrant, we can say that is cell number B, where the what about B? What should be? That question itself give you the path. I mean, for searching path. Again, the workforce, and there are three things are there, and where you have to put the data. Means what should be okay? What should be for these purposes? And this type of manpower is required. This is the department should be the HRD and other. This department, 2-3 departments are to be involved. I mean the section department within the HR there are different sections are there. So this is the another formulary purposes. Then quadrant number C, that is a cell number C. This is what will probably be. Then you have to expect from this based on these data from the first quadrant, second quadrant, then third quadrant. You are deciding what should be the probability. Where before taking the decisions, you are about probability you have to decide it. again in related to our workforce and HR department. That probability of means suppose skill enough or not, that people are really skilled or not, the HR people likely to be involved in this process. That workforce, what type of workforce they are really sufficient or not, if any problems are there or not, their knowledge, their qualification are fit for these things. They all this part are part of the probability part. Then coming to the final quadrant, quadrant number 4, cell B, D. What should be the futures? What should be in futures? Means futuristic way you have to decide. Again, related to if I recruit, if I proceed these things, after 6 months I will get the result or not, or what is my expectations? What is the expectation from the organizations, and what are the expectations from the employees? That has to be finalized, has to be foreseen that yes, these things. So this is the way to go. In between, suppose the before quadrant go to the quadrant number 4, final stage. In quadrant number C, suppose there are some doubts are coming. Means some discrepancies come. That probability, no, that qualification is not correct. That person's, it may be computer science is better. BTech, shall we take the BTech or BCA, or maybe data analysis? What type of really required for you? So that if during this process, if any discrepancy is coming, suppose you are not getting that right persons, or the data are not available, something, or any issues or any discrepancies come, then it is yes or no. Suppose you are not in nothing, no dispute, that is absolutely correct, then you have to go for yes. If it is yes, then some of the things are there. What is the cause? If it is nothing is there, everything is good, then no action is taken. Straight away you can go to the quadrant number 4 for finalizing the things. That everything file can move there, other way. If yes, some problem, some probability that there's a discrepancy, some gaps are seen, then you have to root cause, identify what is the cause behind it. And really that cause is significant or not, percentage wise. Maybe 1% is okay. Now, how much tolerance you have to give? Then what action should be taken to correct it? Suppose a problem is find out. Then what action you are likely to be taken? Then what results of the action is likely? Kya result आ सकता है? Then how can negative effects of action be minimized? If something negative effects are there, what the way we can neutralize the things? That all these things part you have to modify it, to rectify it. Then when you are ensure that all these things are okay, then you can go for the last quadrant, quadrant number 4. There's the same number D. So this is the one of the criteria analysis. Basically, it is a criteria analysis. What are the criteria? That criteria has to meet. If you are happy, you are really satisfied with this criteria, go ahead. This is the now some of the analysis part. The analysis of the 4 quadrants leads us. Now finally, now I am talking about the 4 quadrants. That's the final. The analysis of the 4 quadrants leads us to compare the deviation to find out the possibility of discrepancy. So there, if any discrepancy is there, that we can, it leads, and finally you have to take it. So it takes into considerations the strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, that through this SWOT analysis, you can analyze the things and assess the preparedness of the organizations to the long range and HR planning. The discrepancies can be positive or negative, because any discrepancy that can be positive or negative. If any positive discrepancy, then it indicates that the organization's future preparedness is more than the expectations. So if the discrepancy is in the positive sense, and if it is negative discrepancy, then maybe the it is a and is a reason for concern. So really you have to think over it and try to resolve the things as early as possible. And then after that, after the modification, we can again go for the next process. Now HR grant strategy. HR grant strategy is a futuristic, long-term strategic alternative device or proposed by the HR department. That is another way of the strategy, you can say, and for the future purposes. And again, there are three more analyses to formulate a grand HR strategy. So, what are the three analyses are there? There is a weakness, opportunity, threat, strength. That is WOTS analysis. Through this way, you have to identify what are the weakness and opportunity, threat, everything. Next is your portfolio analysis, where based on the portfolio, you have to analyze this. And third one is a Boston consultancy group, BCG matrix for the human resources. There are three analysis processes. An example of a set of WTS is given below. I mean, to find out the grand strategy of the proposed organizations. Weakness in the basically there is reported job satisfaction, dissatisfactions can be termed as a weakness because employees are not happy and what are the job is given, that is not at par his qualification or experience, so he has feel some acquired conditions. Opportunity is a flexi timing may add to the job satisfactions and hence can be visualized as an opportunity because you are giving, okay, you can take a 3 days from home and 2 days you have to come in the office. That kind of some flexi timing or timing also maybe okay, you are a long distance, you are coming from a very long way, the convenience problem are there, okay, you can come in the afternoons, in the 10 or 11, no problem. And you can stay up to the 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So this is the way the flex timing is there, or maybe work from home, or you can do it while in the night itself you can do it. So if it is a international work, so this is the way that lot of flexi timing is there, which is considering as a opportunity. Then threats. It is an increase in mentality, means free mind. I mean, some creations, if you give some of the people free, then he may create a lot of good things. So it is increase in gig mentality may pose a threat because those who are really want to do something, so maybe it will holding the some things. So that's another thing to see. If something threats can come because of the technological threats, maybe the political threats, maybe lack of knowledge. So competitions are in the market. So threats are coming in different various ways. That is really restrict to those who are in the gig mentality. They can proceed the things. They feel fair. So based on the project result is a full-time associations with the company. So that is one of the point. Then strength. High social commitment of the organization reflects its outlook towards its employees may be seen as a strength. Social commitment is one of the very big things. Any employees, and that is from the organization point of view, from the employee point of view, both should be involved and do the process as with a commitment. So this is a considering as a strength. A collection of assets or the proposals may be termed as a portfolio. So suppose portfolio in the sense where your biodata, where you have worked, how many you have visited, or if any you have invented or not something. So interest, habit, hobby of the things. So all these things are as a asset of the things. It should be in the portfolio. The major attraction of it is to mitigate or the diversify the risks so as to earn the maximum benefits. So based on this portfolio analysis, you can give the things. And another, there are two ways basically. One of the product life cycle way and the BCG matrix way. Product life cycle way, as we know, there are some cycle is there, some introductions, then growth and maturity, and finally decline. Any organizations, or from the individual or the organization point of view, the initial stage from introduction part or initial stages, that things, and then finally after that product will be grow, market will be captured, market share will be more. So that is a growth stage. Then finally it will reach some of the maturity point. After that, start decline. So it may be considered as a product life cycle, or maybe in the case same thing in the implement product life cycle also. So in an organization particular product, you have to see where it is a peak times, and that is the time you have to take some decisions. You have to plan, because you know after that it will be a decline. Decline when it will start, it may depends on the market or consistency, technological pressure. So all these things are considering, and that is the right time to start another product, or the new product, or maybe the modification of the product. You have to think about it to start these things. So all these things are part of your product life cycles. The HR strategy, likewise, passes through the 4 stages. Now, see that there are different for the development purposes. Induction, as I say, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Now, after completing of the 4 phases, called as a brainstorming and a possible inclusion of the another peers. Suppose when you are passed through these things, then you have to go for another process. This is PLC. That is your this is another of the popular analysis is Boston Consultancy Group. That is BCG matrix of HR. And HR strategy likewise passes through the 4 stages for the development. Workers can be classified into 4 categories as suggested by Wardrums, 1984. They are, this is a workhorse, star performers, problem employers, and day-to-day. It is the earlier different name was there that I have to tell you. This is the basically BCG matrix process where the 4 stages, 4 phases are we can consider: workhorse, star performance, problem employers, and they do. This is the way they have to segregate it. Now you see here some of the performance chart is there, high, low, and considering, and this is the potential basis both the way. Stars, what stars, whatever things. It is corresponds to star companies. Then problem employees. This corresponds to your question mark companies. So performance wise, you have to make some of the chart, and that is the different model for the consultancy, Boston Consultancy Group. This is the way you have to consider it. Cash cow, earlier cash cow, and dog means the name has can compare it different names. This is why I'm focusing for the short term and long term staffing requirements based on the anticipated sale, office expansion, attritions, and other variables that impact a company's labor requirements. So, what are the forecasting? Basically, based on these, you have to forecast the things after these things when you are getting final things. The HR planning includes analysis the various cost and administrative work, because you see here one of the very vital things, cost. Any after the analysis part, even during the planning also, you have to see the cost also, and some of the administrative work is also there. That comes with adding or downsizing workers, and that's that time you have to see this much people are required or this much people are to be laid off or downsizing the things. Furthermore, to forecasting the number of type of workers you will need. So this is one of the approach should be there. And during your forecasting process, the cost is one of the points you have to keep in mind. Cost and how much people are really required. You have to recruit, you have to go for recruitment or not for adding purposes, and what are the existing staff, how much really required, and balance maybe transfer or downsizing. Yeah, that's another action ought to be there. So exactly you have to figure out the things and exactly how much the type of workers you also need, that also to highlight the things at the time in the approaches. Then for that, lot of approaches are there. Another approach is there, the Delphi techniques. That is your HR forecasting things. In Delphi techniques, basically the method gathers the viewpoints, a lot of the specialist, expert people's viewpoint, and to analyze the problem. Suppose a problem was there to get this process, when you are not getting correctly the viewpoint. So that you have to take a higher from the expert viewpoints, you can take it from the expert, those who are already knowledgeable. Another approach is the trend analysis. A trend analysis is systematic decisions forecast the future workforce requirement by using the statistical data from the company's past staffing, what the way the recruitment has done for what. Maybe you can consider in last 5 years pattern of this thing, the ratio and everything. Then what are the trends going on? Suppose it is increasing or decreasing manpower, or what the way the manpower is taken care. That trends can be followed, or something you keeping on the present scenario. So that is the trend analysis. Basically, you have to averaging basically to see it. Another is the ratio analysis. Ratio analysis, like similarly, it is almost similar to trend analysis only, and it draws a link between the merits, the metrics, and the overall staffing. Ratio analysis is slightly different. Most of the, you can say the 80 to 90% are same as trend analysis, but here actually we have to see the averaging overall staffing, all the some for averaging purposes, not in a particular section of things. Then supply forecasting. Supply forecasting is the supply forecasting. Your strategy examines a business internal and external assist the component candidates. So supply forecasting, how much the business internal and external assist to the competent candidates are required or not. Then go for your another approach is optimization techniques for the forecasting purposes. Take the advantage of available hiring opportunities, and HR forecasting prepares to you make sound hire decisions. Consider a variety of employee types, reviewing the organigram, then survey employees. These all are the different techniques for how to optimize the things. Suppose you are human resource planning or even the product, whatever the things, how to optimize the things. So this is some of the techniques are appended here. Now, predicted selections. We need strategic plan for selecting the best indicators to use in a regression model when there are numerous possible predictors. As we seen in the earlier session that the regression process, there are some Y's equal to X plus B. There are some known values, some of the unknown values, or we can see some of the dependent values, some of the your independent values. So that values you have to correlate the values and understand the values, the value of the particular variables, and you can draw a line which are the best you can predict accordingly. So, and human resource measurements and audit. Now, how to measure the things and what is the audit is required. It is a guarantee to guarantee that the planning of the human resource process is sufficient and pertinent to the organizations. A framework of the timely review in the manner of an independent review and the monitoring of the business economics in form of measures and appropriate assessment of critical processes and systems is considered necessary. It means you have to ensure that your whatever the things are, the process is good and that process is sufficient for that, and it is independent review, you can collect it and monitoring the business. So all together, yeah, these all are measuring points, some parameters. Or the other one say some of the parameters are there where you can judge. Yes, your what are the you have formulated the things are correct. Now, some of the points are critical for predicting when the process of periodic review. Some of the you have to an audit. Some of the points are there when you are for some critical review. So, orientation of HR department objectives. This is one of the points are there, critical point. Then key success factors. How success, that some of the criteria or some of the viewpoints you have faced, some of the key points. Presence of well documentation, because documentation is very where the procedures, everything are presented very, I can say, easily understandable. That documentation is very important. Then orientation of interdepartmental visions, critical success factors, key strategic elements, critical process of the department. Then hierarchy design, what are the hierarchy has designed, that everything, who will report to whom, that part is correctly or not. Then strategies and the practices, what the strategy are adopted by the company, policies, market data, competitive data, because when you are in the market, you have to see your competitors, those who are contenders. So you have to take their data also and the market data also. Strategies and the practices, which practices you are adopting, is a world class or not. Then your short and long term plans, which short terms and plans are you have already selected. Departmental cross organizational communications, efficiency. There, what type of communications you have already built up. If any barriers in the communications are not, entity management commitment. So all these things, points are needed for review, periodic review, and for the audit purposes. Then only you can have it. Suppose what the plan, whatever the formulations has done, but in the end, at the end of the day, you have to see, you have to review is very much important. Then only you can get a correct feedbacks and for rectification purposes. These are review and audit basically for the correction purposes. You have to correct it where these problems are. They are really by the loopholes in there. That gap has to be filled. So this is the way unit number 7 is complete. Now I have to go for unit number 8. HR analytics for HRP decisions. Now to take the decisions. So here in this unit, I have to see the interaction as well, then stages of the HR talent management life cycle, then evolutionary process of human capital matrices, then what is HRIS, human resource information systems. That is we have to see. In talent sourcings, talent acquisitions, application of HR analytics. So these are all of the sub-units of the unit number 8. Organizations are forced to alter their business because you see, depending on the globalizations, as we know, the lot of competitions, climate changings, and your environment, there are a lot of things are, I can say, the influences to change your business. So you have to be very careful about things and have to analyze this continuous dynamic nature. So decision before taking any decision makings process, you have to analyze this very meticulously. You have to see all these things, points. What are the changes in a macro level, and in a micro level, and as well as a macroeconomic conditions. So both the things you have to consider it before take any thing. So that's why the HR analytics are nowadays very important. So HR personnel are the duties, their responsibility are to see the overall business, overall development of the company, keeping in view of all these considerations, and in a macro level and micro level also. So as a result of because of the complexities, so every strategy developed by the HR department must be consistent with the overall business strategy. So HR department strategy has to be merged with the business strategy taken by the CEO levels, complete business strategies. So HR is one of the HR strategy is one of the main things that should be aligned. The real-time problem give rise to the intention of the diversifications, because when you are any diversifications taken, definitely have to consider it, and that should not be delayed, because real time is very important. And real time problems, what are really exactly happening in the business world, that happenings have to be addressed as early as possible. And when you are diversifications purposes, think about it, so that it should be considered. Numerous product lines, service offerings, and options available to clients, because clients nowadays, you see, they are very intelligent, very clever nowadays. So clients are to see what the options you are giving, and precisions, quality, everything they have to see. That so at the time of offering the services, you have to consider what are the product line you have, different product line for the different purposes, demand customized, because everybody is depending on their own way. Cost is one of the factors. So customization, cost, desire, liking, not liking. So all these factors are nowadays there. So all the options you should have keep in mind. As an analyst, you have to see the best one, which the product are quality-wise compatibles to others. See desires of the market, desires of the customers, and after-sale service. Obviously, all these things. So all these points are required. How we can achieve all these things? Through the analysis only, through the analysis purposes. Now, stages of the HR talent management life cycles. Now, so far we have seen a lot of life cycles, product life cycles, human life cycles. Then you're now coming to your talent management life cycles. So with the constant changes of the organization space, one of the most important aspects of running a successful business is attracting. So talent management life cycles, one of the main things is how long you can attract the customers. Based on these, not only the customers, employees also. Suppose those who are applying for the applications, suppose they are applying for they want to enter in these organizations, your organizations. So the branding that organizations are very much required. So organizations, the important aspect is your successful business is attracting, recruiting, onboarding, developing, and retaining the top talent. So last one is very important, retaining top talent, because your company should be in such a way that where attraction will be there, employees are really happy, they know their career path, career growth also they are happy. So onboarding, they are starting from the starting itself, they are enjoying the jobs. There is no problems. Developing also there's a lot of training program is also there. So then definitely the employees will be retained. So that type of scenario, that type of perspectives that you have to consider. So HR expertise management life cycles, that is ensured, that life cycle should be ensured that both the employees and the employer benefit from their collaborations. So life cycle should be in such a way where employee-employee relationship is good. They are collaboratively doing all these things. What are the commitment? Keeping on view of the market standards, quality, expectation of the customers. Here, all these things should be met. Yeah, I mean, see all these things. Stages of the cycle of an employee's life. Attractions. As we said, first thing is attractions. The first phase of the cycle is attraction stage. How to attract the people towards the particular this company? Because the branding is required, and the past results, market, share values, value is one of the important. So that is the then you can attract the company. Then recruitment. Identify the great talent quickly, because you have to search. Nowadays, you see through this campus interview, HR department are plotted there, and they have to conduct the spot interview, and they have to recruit the things immediately. Maybe they are final semester students, maybe in the third semester students. Suppose for engineering colleges or management students, like they are already pursuing the courses, even though you have to select them based on their talent and all these things. And then after the completion of their course, they straightway can join in the company, and for that some training program will be there. So recruitment as early as possible, and talent people you have to search it. Otherwise, the other company will take over. You know, a lot of competitors are in the market. They are also searching the talent people. They will pick up. So that is strategy should be there. So talent management cycles are give you the idea how to recruit the people, talent people. So that is one of the stages, recruitments. Then onboardings. Onboardings, there are following stages in employees in onboarding. The onboarding period, which occurs after the employee has recruited talent employees, their capability. When after that, when you are talented, you are recruiting the people, then you see their hire them, and what are the organizational ambience within this. They have to work what the way they are working or not. Give it that kind of space and knowledge and training, everything. So onboarding is very important. You are hiring the training people, but after that you are not utilizing his potentiality, his capability. You are not utilizing. You are not giving that type of space, not that type of environment. Also, you are not providing. So that's why onboarding is very important. Now, development and the retention of the career. As I said, the training, learning systems are very important. So that's why most of the multinational companies and other, they have a good library also. Within the library, they have to give some time also. These times you can go for the library, you can learn some of the things. That some personalized career development plan include the regular training. That's what I'm saying. So training programs should be there. So upskilling the things, training, retrainings are also required. So knowledge should be also updated, updation purpose basically. Managers and supervisors must work with the employees to define and adjust some of the plans regularly. So what are the plan has been set it or prepared? That plan are really in line or not? You are in the right path or not? So all these things are to be identified and rectify the things. If required some modifications, that also have to do it. It is a regular review of the plan regularly, fortnightly, weekly or your after 15 days, monthly. This is the way. I think most of the multinational companies or other PRM system, the project monitoring meetings are there. They have to contact every month. There are some of the meetings. There, all the people are coming there to give their feedbacks and how to motivate the people, how to change it, where the problems are there, where the gap is there, if any career path is blocked or not. So all these things have to be discussed in front of all the departmental heads. Then now separations. The employee's life cycle ends because the last things, your another point, separation means in the sense of retirement, because by the retired people mean some people are leaving the organizations due to some reasons, these personal reasons, new employment maybe for personal reasons, but things are there for the separation purposes. So strategically, the separation process must be treated just as seriously as the onboarding process. So when you are in the onboard conditions, that time only you have to see that people should not go leave the things. And even when you are recruiting, based on these things, keeping in view of some of these things, some of the percentages will be people will be separated due to some transfer of knowledge. Suppose you require 5 people, for example, 5 engineers are required particular things. So you have to hire at least 7 or 8, 10 or 20% extra manpower you have to require, because if 2 persons has separated or for the new opportunity go, so at least you should have some backup. You should have some backup so that every time you cannot go for the recruitment purposes. So that is we have to keep in mind. Now then after that, you see there are some diagram is there. Predictive analysis. So, how to evaluate the things. That is first things, your transitional monitoring. That is your human resource activity reports. Then human resource management, where you have to monitor the performance. Then business metrics. Trying tie up the HR matrices to the business, basically. Then predict analysis for telling the efforts, what things are required, what things are and not justified, or you have to justify the things. And accordingly, you have to predict in future purposes. So that is one of the your predictive analysis analytics. Now, stages of HR talent management life cycles. Again, another, that is your talent management stages. What are the stages? There are five of the measurements, and before that, we must acknowledge the two facts are there. When you are preparing the 5 ways of the measurement, so keep in mind initially there are two things. One is measurement is an activity targeted to find out some things, and every activity incurs as expense. So these two things you have to mind, you have to acknowledge the things, then you proceed for your 5 different steps. Recording one's work, because some was working, it may be a video or maybe it is a record. So through these things, the recording is one of the important. Then you can analyze further. Linking of goals of the organizations in terms of quality, innovations, productivity, and service. So this is one of the things. This goal is how much it is linking based on this quality, innovation and productivity, and the 4 things. Then comparison of the results, comparing the business practices with the industry best in commonly termed as benchmarking. You are in the particular that threshold point or not. I mean benchmarking. Standards is somewhere, and your practices are, so you have to compare it. If it is a gap is more, then definitely you have to take some measurement, some decision you have to take it. If it is gap is less or likely to be, you are in the closer to a benchmark, which you are the standards, then no problem. You are in good positions, comfortable positions. So comparison is one of the important part. So all our things are talent management cycles like this. That the things. Then recognizing the past behavior and outcomes. That is descriptive analysis. Where you have to see it, in the future, in the past services, what the ways behave, what type of work, what type of commitment he has, what type of discipline, everything, what type of work he has done. So that behavioral patterns you can assess. And what are the outcomes? These things are also to be recorded and to be analyzed. And in the presence of the first true analysis levels. So this is all our ways of the things. Then stages of the, again, this part 5 point is forecasting the future probabilities. That is your perceptive analytics. It contains, it connects with what we know and what we don't know. Actually, you have to see some of the influences. You have to, I think, what are the things are behind it? I mean, things that are influencing in your analysis. When you are doing something, analytic work, what are the things are basically influences? Risky decision making. Then compensation in terms of the incentives, challenging assignments, work-life, integrations and balance, or quick advancements. So all of these things are really influence the things. Suppose you are giving us some incentives, suppose for the as a compensation package. It is really effective or not, or really that compensation is justified or not. That means we can say the compensation, the salaries, it is one of the influence. People may happy, may be more committed to do the work, start more hard work. So that is the things. If the compensations or incentives are not at par, likely to be not motivated. The employee cannot be motivated, or that type of commitment will not become. Challenging assignments. Suppose the assignment is given in such a way, it is not up to his capacity. that knowledge he don't know, but or other way, company has not provided that type of training. But that's why the challenging assignment is one of the. These all are the influence of the analysis. During the analysis part, you have to consider why that quality has not come in, why these persons are not up to the benchmark, that quality, why it is deteriorating. So, what the influence, what type of influence are affecting on particular these things in a product point of view or maybe in a human point of view also. Suppose in the product are that type of quality is not there. Definitely, his raw material is not good. Maybe the business customers are not liking these things. So some redesign, remodification is required. So we have to see all these things. Then predict the action. Action that will have the highest success rate. So action is one of the another influence point. Population is huge in demography. As we know, demographically, the population is one of the things that is scattered with, and its technological advancement or the customer expectations are changing. So maybe this is one of the influence point. Suppose you are in a product or mobile, you are going for the sale purposes in the village area where that affordable, the mobile cost is not affordable for the particular that area. So definitely your sales will be declined because people are not things. So this is a small example I'm giving you. So because of the technical advancement, customers' expectations are changing. These all are the influence for the analysis purpose. So as an analyst, you have to see that product, why we're launching that product. Really that purchase capacity is there or not, that people are able to purchase or not. So that keeping on mind these things. Maybe the low range, low price range, different type of product to be distributed there. So depending on the past and past of the past, the forecast the future means you have to considering the past things. What are the trends? Already trends going on, existing systems or existing scenario of the market. You have to forecast for the futures. Maybe the product way, maybe the company, environment, human development, all these purposes. So depending on the past, you have to go for forecast the futures. Now, what is the human resource information systems? As you know, human systems is very important in online software power solutions. For any organizations are required. Payroll management, as you know, database entry, tracking is all are the part of your HRS systems. This is becoming more sophisticated. So now, what is the HR? Your things. HR. It is encompasses with the some of the benefits management in your demographic compensations, time and the attendance, then your workflows and the communications, then your performance management, reporting systems, application tracking. These all are encompasses of the employee portal. These things. This is all together we can say it is the human resource information systems. There are two things are there. Data collected to a different way. One of the data aggregation, another data mining. So there are two ways you have to collect all the data for the purposes. Then perceptive analysis are there, and there it can be used for the decision purposes. And time horizons are there, and maybe the short time and long time you have to see. Some advantages also there and some disadvantages also there. It can be aid as a preventive of the fraud and reduction of the risks, increase the efficiency and the achievement of the business objectives, and the creation of the more loyal customers. These are all of the advantage for this prescriptive analysis. You have prescribed the things, all these things. And the disadvantage is it is a some lot of challenges are there. So that is one of the disadvantage. Another analysis are there for diagnostic analysis, then hypothesis testings, correlations, then diagnostic regression analysis, and predictive analysis. These all are your HR analytic part. Then talent acquisitions, here actually some of the acquisition part is there. The key factors are, you see the efficacy of the hiring the process, then tracking the sources of the recruitment process, measuring the assessment accuracy, detect the mismatch, if any mismatch is there or not, then measurement of the pre-hire quality, the post-hire quality, and components of the pre and post results. All these are your part of your talent acquisition part. Because now cognition ability, their performance predictors are there. The predictor will be the following the six. Some of the characteristics are there. Their cognition ability, then mental ability, and your consciousness, then your active learning, how much your skill enough or not, then creative problem solving, really you are creating, these all are basically the performance base, how quickly you are taking the decisions, is that ability you have to or not, past performance, track record, earlier what type of decision you have taken. These are all that required for the further promotion purposes, or you have to post somebody in higher positions. That all this quality, the characteristics features can be analysis. Then your employee training and development, another thing. This is a benefit for these two purposes. Based on this, you can give some training. Your analysis purpose. After the analysis, you can give a training. Better way you can train the people. Then it proves a boost to improve the employee's performance. If you give some training program, you boost it. Innovation comes as a byproduct of the training and development. During the training program, you see the lot of people are giving different ideas. They can generate a lot of product idea for the innovation purposes. Competency acquisitions, another aspect, analysis, particularly hiring the right talent in the instrument purposes. The first is to identify the core competencies. So these all are your analytical property. Recruitment channels, and their attrition, classification of the analysis, then attrition of the analysis, all are application things. Then your capacity analysis, how much capacity you have, really it is up to the level or not, and differently cost reductions. So HR department can use the capacity analysis. So what are the team's capacity, then activities are the team engagement, what the way it is engaged in the work, and how much they cost the company, the team's operational efficiency, helps the determinations of the overwork of the underutilizes, the ability to grow and the prosper. So all are the part of your capacity analysis purposes. So I think this is the way I'm now trying to cover these sessions. So thank you very much.